Okay, I want to play a game with you. It's up to you to figure out what real world event and person I'm talking about, despite the fact I never actually say it. I had to be very careful with the language I used in this video. I had to use coded language and talk about it in gamer terms, specifically Minecraft terms. If you can guess what I'm talking about, then nice. Okay, bye.
You're no artist. An artist respects the silence and serves as the foundation of creativity.
So what you're seeing here is an artist's interpretation of an event that happened in Minecraft, which shook the overworld. There was a villager named Villager Thompson. Now this villager had pretty terrible trades. He would essentially take a ton of gold from you and give you barely anything in return, sometimes nothing. He was seen as a bit of a leech on the community. Until one day, one player, Mario Woman Gioni, decided to take it upon himself to execute the villager in broad daylight. No, it was nighttime at the time, but the village had a stone wall around it and it was lit up so there were no mobs around. The mobs mean the police. Now, whilst an act of violence like this would typically be completely condemned by the Minecraft community, this one was basically celebrated. People saw Mario as a bit of a hero, and essentially he became a bit of a symbol for finding those who leech off the poorest and most vulnerable in our society in Minecraft and killing them in Minecraft. Oh wait, no, it's not, wait, no, fuck, I need to rephrase that. And unaliving them in Minecraft. What a wonderful world we live in. But essentially, here's the thing. People built statues of him, but after a little bit, people kind of just stopped talking about him. They had built up an idea of who this person was, whilst kind of forgetting the real human being behind him. In life, I mean in Minecraft, sometimes we tend to idolize people who, whilst they may deserve to be idolized, we tend to ignore the actual human behind it and the further reasons for why they did what they did, and actually tackle those in a proactive way. Which brings us to the real topic of this video, the juicy one, which is why you might have clicked on it. I hope you haven't clicked off yet. I have colours. Why am I not using the coloured pencils? Is she stupid? We are of course talking about Joker 2, Foley I'm So Sad 2, Foley a Doo-Doo, as the internet called it. Fucking got it. Now I had seen a lot of the reaction to this film before I had even watched it, so I knew going in that a lot of people didn't really like it, and I knew some of the reasons why, but not entirely all. However, when I watched it, I quite enjoyed it. It's not even a fantastic movie, but it's pretty good. I'd even call it great. And the whole reason for this Mario Mangione Minecraft setup is to sort of set up the tone of building up idols and then forgetting the real person behind them. I feel like there's a lot of that in Joker 2 that people either ignored or missed, and I don't think people missed it, because as I'm going through it, you'll see it's fairly obvious. It's not a very subtle movie, and that's definitely one of my criticisms, but regardless. We're going to talk about the movie, we're going to go through it, and I'm going to explain why I think it's quite good, whilst also pointing out the parallels between Minecraft. It's so fucking tiring. And the movie. Are you still with me? Let's go. I'm going to watch Joker 2 so you don't have to. So first off, I want to say one quick thing about Joker 1 and the reaction to Joker 1. I quite like Joker 1. It's, again, not a perfect movie, but it's fairly interesting, and it obviously has a great performance by Joaquin Phoenix. But I think the more interesting thing about Joker 1 is the reaction to it. Again, people on the internet and culture in general sort of took Joker as this cool, epic Sigma. I don't think people were saying Sigma then, but he was seen as this super cool fucking guy, this revolutionary figure. But people weren't really engaging with why Arthur Fleck is who he is in that movie. Because if you actually watch the film, he is not a revolutionary figure. The reason people are okay with the kills that Joker does in Joker 1 is because most of the people are seen as awful. You have the 3 Wall Street guys on the subway who, in case being leeches to society and contributing nothing weren't enough, they were also harassing a lady on the train, so yeah, sure, they deserve to die. You have Joker's mother who was insanely abusive and lied to him, dead. You have the clown guy who Joker worked with who was mean to him. Fuck it, why not? You have Murray Franklin, who's portrayed as this sort of just unlikable, cocky guy who basically laughs at the most vulnerable of us in society. He's basically Jimmy Fallon.
I said, Jimmy Fallon? The only thing he should host is a Parasite.
But the thing is, if you watch the movie, Arthur kills them all for fairly personal, petty reasons. He's not thinking about the broader societal implications and reasons for why people might want them to go. He's just killing the Wall Street guys because he's getting attacked and he has a gun. His mother, he kills for his own personal reasons for what she did to him when he was a child. His clown friend, honestly didn't deserve it whatsoever. Arthur killed him because he was a little mean to him. Sure. And he killed Murray Franklin because he made fun of him. Arthur Fleck is not a revolutionary figure, but Joker was. It's very obvious from the first movie that whilst Joker may have become that sort of revolutionary figure, that wasn't his aim or his idea. He was just lashing out at a society that had basically failed him. He even says in Joker,
"Come on, Murray. Do I look like the kind of clown that could start a movement?"
Anyway, with that context, let's actually get on to Joker 2. Hello, sorry. One quick thing, I had to adjust a lot of the footage in this section due to getting demonetized, so apologies on that. You have this cute little cartoon that starts off the movie called Me and My Shadow, and again, we're starting off very unsubtle. It's basically illustrating what I just said with how Joker and Arthur Fleck are sort of two different people, and Arthur's struggling to fight back against this sort of shadow of who people think he is but who he actually isn't. But something interesting in this cartoon that I sort of want to point out more to people is that the second Arthur sort of makes peace with this Joker personality and sort of accepts him, the second that happens in the cartoon, he's met with reality and beat up by the police. This sort of accepting the Joker fantasy and then immediately being met with reality is something that is done repeatedly throughout the movie. So moving on, we meet the lawyer who, throughout the movie, is portrayed as the only one that actually cares about Arthur. She understands he has quite severe mental issues and actually wants to deal with that. She treats the Joker figure as sort of a second personality that Arthur sort of crawls back into because of his trauma, which the movie doesn't explicitly say whether this is the case or not. I personally don't see it as that. Hello, Editor Jess here, and I rewatched the film again since doing the recording for this video, and one thing I do want to add here is I think it is much more likely that it is intended that the Joker is literally a second personality, or at least a almost persona that Arthur falls back on when he feels scared or threatened, in a similar way to how he always laughs whenever he feels nervous. But at least she's trying to find an explanation for why he feels this way. And there are definitely hints that this might be the case throughout the movie. So Arthur's going through his life at prison and he eventually meets Harley, or Lee. Whatever, man. Now Lee is basically infatuated with Joker. From the moment we meet her, she never really has to go through the falling in love aspect. She is already in love with Joker. Don't worry about why he's so small. Not Arthur. She doesn't give a fuck about Arthur. But here's the thing, Joker doesn't fall for Harley. Arthur falls for Harley. Throughout the movie too, whenever there is a sort of fantasy, it's never Arthur and Lee, it's always Joker and Harley. Now as Arthur falls for Lee, I'm gonna call her Harley. I know she's basically Lee in the movie, I'm calling her Harley. Now as Arthur falls for Harley, it becomes quite clear that she is now his reason to live. He's always portrayed as quite an emotionally vulnerable person, so it doesn't surprise me that he would fall in love this fast. But yeah, he was essentially content with dying by the beginning of the movie, but now he has that reason to live. He wants to build a mountain with Harley, whatever that means. But it's sort of a doomed relationship from the get because Arthur is never going to get that with Harley. When she makes her way into Arkham and visits Arthur, she is basically there to make love to him, but she won't do it to Arthur. She actually brings Joker makeup because, again, she doesn't care about Arthur, she only wants Joker. Another thing I want to add here is Harley and the fans of Joker in the movie in general definitely represent the audience in their reaction to Joker, and how people don't really want to see Arthur, they don't care about Arthur, they just want a funny, silly Joker movie. This sort of pushes Arthur more to become more like the Joker, to accept that role more because people don't care about Arthur. Just like in reaction to the first movie, people don't care about why he did what he did, the things he suffered, and the broader societal ways we can fix these things proactively. People just care about cool, edgy, fun Joker.
Do you see all those people out front? Who do you think they're here for? How many t-shirts has Arthur Fleck on? How many signs?
Another thing that I'd like to parallel here with the Mario Minecraft, I'm really talking about Luigi, is that people sexualized him a lot, which he is hot, but one of the more personal reasons he did what he did is because his severe back pain he got, which United Healthcare didn't fix. He couldn't be intimate with anyone, which, yeah, makes all the people thirsting over him seem quite insensitive. They're sort of ignoring who he really is. Very important note here, even though I am talking about this man pictured here, I want to preface that on the night of the crime, he was actually playing Minecraft with me. So, innocent as charged. Fuckers. Anyway, we later find out that Harley isn't actually poor or institutionalized like she said to Arthur. She's essentially a poser. She checked herself in, and this is a strange part of the movie because this is one of the parts where I'm not really sure what they're trying to say. Because don't get me wrong, Harley is quite crazy in this movie. She sets fire to a ward just so her and Joker can run away together. She becomes so heavily infatuated that there are definitely some mental issues with Harley. That being said, the idea that she checked herself in, she's really not a poor kid, makes her seem like sort of a poser, or the way I kind of take it is it's about mental health romantification, which is too broad a topic to get into in this video, but I think it's interesting that they would include that. But we do get a lot of this, Harley is maybe not all she says she is, and she might actually be quite selfish. Now at this stage of the movie, we're about an hour 15 in, and we're right getting into the trial. And this part of the movie goes a lot more into who Joker is and who Arthur is. It's him and his shadow, and how Joker isn't Arthur. Joker is a made-up person. There never really was one. It's just Arthur. During the scene where Arthur's frankly horrific past, dealing with abuse when he was a child, is brought up, we see him sort of slip back into this Joker fantasy because reality is too harsh. At the end of this section, he even fires his lawyer because it just becomes too difficult to constantly disassociate and become this Joker character. He doesn't want to live in reality anymore, so he gets rid of the one person who keeps bringing it up, the lawyer, because like I said at the beginning, she's the only one who wants to talk about Arthur. And since everyone else is pushing him away, Arthur takes the short and easy route of just slipping into the fantasy, which, as we see throughout the movie, has horrific repercussions. So this is where we get most of the Joker stuff throughout this movie. He basically puts on a complete performance, tries to make a sham of the trial, and is just generally being Joker. But again, like in the beginning cartoon with how the second he accepts this, he's met with reality, now that he's accepting this role, he is immediately met with reality. They bring up Gary Puddles from the previous movie, one of Arthur's only genuine friends, and Arthur is met with the reality of what happened in Joker 1 and what that meant for Puddles.
I told you I wouldn't hurt you, and I didn't.
Not hurt me. I couldn't go back to work. I still can't sleep, and I'm scared all the time. You were the only one at work who never made fun of me. You were the only one that was nice to me.
We see throughout this part Arthur struggling to keep up this Joker act because he has to face reality. Arguments can be made with Murray Franklin or the Wall Street guys, but him and Puddles' friend didn't deserve it, flat out. and the trauma that that event has caused Puddles very obviously makes Arthur feel quite guilty. So as Arthur's struggling to keep up this Joker act, he essentially once again lashes out. He goes full epic edgy Joker mode and people cheer him on. They think he's so cool. But remember, people aren't supporting Arthur here, they're supporting Joker. And the second that that support is gone, Arthur's met with reality. Arthur is essayed at Arkham Asylum, and this sort of brutal reality, the meeting of what happened to him as a child and what's happening to him now, shows him that Joker can't help him. He decided to accept it and go full Joker, and look where it got him, right back to where all this trauma started. Now the next scene at the courts is what I think got a lot of people off of the movie, because it's where Arthur basically flat out refuses the Joker moniker. He explains that there is none and it's just him. He is desperately trying to reach out and get the help that he knows he needs now, but then the support that he thought he could gamble on just leaves. Harley walks out, and right when things seem to be ramping up a little bit, the supporters try and break Joker out. Is it obvious yet? Is it obvious? We see Arthur escape with some mega fans who even repeat some of the lines he said from the last movie. Which... Did they? Did they really? As Arthur walks home, we see that nothing's changed in the world. Trash is still piled up on the streets. Nothing Joker did has changed anything. The institutions are still crumbling just as much as they were before, and people like Arthur aren't receiving the help they need. He meets Harley for one last time and mentions how he doesn't want to sing anymore. Arthur doesn't want to live with these fantasies anymore. He just wants to run away to this last chance at a better life. But because Harley doesn't actually care about him, she leaves him, and Arthur's arrested.
They went and they said, hey, we made a bunch of money on this first movie by making a good movie. Now we're going to go hire demonic Lady Gaga. We're going to make it a musical and we're going to screw over all these incels that liked it in the first place.
So Arthur is killed by another inmate at Arkham, which a lot of people very clearly hated. But here's the thing, Arthur's dealing with the repercussions of building this moniker and stepping into it and reinforcing it. And in the end, his story is a tragedy. He gets killed by that very moniker. Which I saw a bunch of people say, oh wow, this is the movie setting up this guy as the real Joker for another movie, which... No. If your biggest concern after seeing this scene isn't, man, I really hope that the Arthur Flecks of this world can get their help, as opposed to wondering whether there was an end credits scene or not teasing this guy, then I don't know what to tell you. That's essentially it for going through the plot. I hope I sort of put across as to why I like this movie and why I think it does have something to say. Like I said at the beginning, it's not perfect. It doesn't look amazing. It definitely has its moments, but it's fairly mid, as the cool Gen Zers in my audience would say, the Zoomers, fucking tumors. I just did a massive spit. I don't know if you saw that. That was fucking disgusting. People shit on the music a lot, which, I'm gonna be real, after seeing Emilia Perez,
Like to know about sex change operation.
I see. Men to woman, or woman to men.
Man to woman.
From penis to vagina.
is it that bad? Gonna Build a Mountain specifically is actually kind of a banger. Again, it's not great, but I quite like the music. I'll plant my flag on that mountain and defend that. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed. If you're watching this far, why? Let me know if you like this kind of video. I'm a very small channel, so if you comment, I will read it and overanalyze it and think about it whilst I sleep. So if you do like this style of video, please let me know. I'll love to do more. There's not been a script to this. There's been like some guidelines. I've just been yapping for 35 minutes. God knows how long this video is going to end up being, but yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.